What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the ZayMoolaSportsPodcast. I'm your host, Isaiah, and we are live for day 3 of the NFL Combine as we have the quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers going through the 40-yard dash and participating in all of the drills. Y'all, as I stated on yesterday, I apologize. I was not able to go live yesterday, but hey, sometimes technical difficulties happen. But nevertheless, y'all, we are live today, man. I'm super excited. Hope everyone is doing well. And without further ado, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and get straight into this. And at the end of this, I will show y'all my NFL draft big board for those that have not seen. But yeah, y'all, I'm gonna get ready to be quiet so we can listen to Rich Eisen and Daniel Jeremiah. Let's get into it, man. Hope everyone is doing well. All right, give me 1 second. All right. All right, y'all.
This is the way to leave an impression, DJ. Drew Allen.
Yeah. There. Nice touch. Nice ball.
Carson Beck.
Did you give Beck a break from the crowd here for the last rep?
They did. It's not on the screen.
Nice throw.
Ooh, okay, Carson Beck showing that arm strength. I like it.
Malachi Fields with a great catch on a beautiful throw.
That's nice. Yeah, that's nice.
He's had a solid day. You're right, his lower half is
Jalen Daniels, super
I
athletic.
went back and checked.
Super athletic.
220 at Georgia, 225 at Miami listed, 233 in the weigh-ins here.
Yeah, big dude.
Can y'all hear me okay? And can you hear the commentators okay?
Go.
Looks like you good.
Go get it.
Ah.
All right, we got some highlights. All right, we're going to do another one. Oh, here we go. Here's a couple Drew Aller throws. Look at this ball. That's a beautiful trajectory. Dropped it right in the bucket. See, no fault step there with his first step with his
Concepcion. You know he's going to get
with his
that.
left foot instead of taking that little cheat step. And thought his rhythm got going a little bit better as we went along. A little rhythm pat. And got nice, smooth motion. And here is Carson Beck from Miami. A couple nice throws for him, too. Nice, firm base. Can't throw better than
Look
that.
at Malachi Fields go get there. I mean, he's 6'4", 215 pounds.
Get your eyes there.
Incredible hands, incredible ball skills.
Two good balls. So as a thrower, I talked about him as a thrower. I see some similarities to Palmer. You see the frame, same size. A lot of similarities there. Obviously, Carson was a little more accomplished, as Heisman Trophy winner.
I'm not mad with that comparison. I'm not
still
mad
more
with it.
development. I know Beck's been around for a while, but there's still room for him to improve.
All right. Some fades, I guess, right?
This was the CeeDee Lamb, right? When we saw that the first time that they started doing this, and CeeDee Lamb made that twirling catch. And then we co-signed on the drill. We said we can keep that one.
Nah, this is how
You
you
see
get
the
it. That's how
cones
you go
out
get it.
there to make sure the pylons,
That's
make
how
sure
you
it
go
doesn't
and
turn
get
to a
it.
deep fade. They want that now.
Trying to get in that little 4x4 box there in the corner, quarterback.
Trying to find that early hole in too deep coverage, right, DJ?
Yeah, trying to get that thing up and
That's
down.
my guy right here, Denzel Boston. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I knew he was gonna get that. That's why I Brent.
Money one day in sight. Rounding up.
Casey Concepcion, you'll see him in these goal line situations like this. He's going to be running slants and quick outs and making people try and cover him there.
This should be easy for CJ Daniels. Should be easy. Go get it. Oh yeah. Yeah, I knew that was gonna be easy for him.
Stacey Dales today, didn't he? That he was going to lock in and focus. He's been terrific.
Caught the ball really well.
Malachi Fields, the 45th ranked player on my big board.
Very comfortable for Fields.
Hey,
Power forward.
getting that frame, y'all. 6'4", 215.
Nicely done.
He caught it low and tried to extend it up in the air after he caught it, just to make the degree of difficulty. It's like a slam dunk contest here.
I fell for it.
I think they're all trying to get that nice little twisting turn and catch and top the last guy that went. You know receivers compete with each other.
There you go.
Happy for the young man there.
Jordan Hudson from SMU.
Gonna make a name for himself.
Nice. Good catch.
This is the last throw for this group.
Go get it. Yes, sir.
And it is a grab. All right. So we've got one more group to go. Yeah. Fun stuff for Group A.
Uh-oh.
And off we go.
Branch, I know Branch can do some cartwheels.
There's one. There's two.
There's two. Hey.
Another.
Hey, and Malachi Fields, yeah.
Let's see what else we got. Oh. Nicely done. One more. One more. Hold on.
Hey. It's Aaron Anderson. LSU, man, them Tigers.
Nice. Interesting that no quarterbacks were part of that.
Yeah, no, that's not something the agents are fans of, with the quarterbacks trying to pull that off.
Group 8 stuck the landing.
Good night.
One more group of quarterbacks and wideouts on this Saturday in Indy. No.
All right, y'all. How y'all feeling about it? I was pretty impressed by what I saw. Especially from Carson Beck. I thought he threw the ball very well during that drill. While it's on commercial break, I'm gonna show y'all, go through my big board. So y'all see, man, I think Jeremiah Love is the best player in the draft class. So I have Arvin Reese, Caleb Downs, Fernando Mendoza, David Bailey, Carnell Tate, Ruben Bain Jr., Sonny Styles, Jermon McCoy, and Makai Lemon. And yeah, y'all, I still think Jermon McCoy is a top 10 prospect in this class. I think he's the best cornerback in this class. I know that we did not see him play last year due to an ACL injury, but y'all, his 2024 tape was some of the best tape I've seen the cornerback have in a very long time. I compare him to Darius Slay in terms of his size, his speed, his ball skills, his competitive nature, his ability to be a willing tackler. So I'm still really high on Jermon McCoy. Um, moving on to page 2, we have Jordan Tyson, Mansour Delane, Francis Mayoga, Kenyon Sadiq, Spencer Fano, Cassius Howe, Peter Woods, Vega Ione, Brandon Cisse, and Denzel Boston. And I know a lot of people are talking about Kenyon Sadiq because of his incredible combine performance yesterday. But y'all, I was high on him before then. As y'all see, I have him as the 14th ranked player on my big board. I love his athleticism. I love his ball skills. He does have some concentration drops at times, excuse me, but other than that, I just love his skill set as a very athletic, productive tight end. Anybody else that stands on this list? Oh, Brandon Cisse, who I'm also really high on. Love his speed and athleticism. He's just an absolute dog as a man coverage corner. I think he needs to improve his awareness in zone coverage, but outside of Jamal McCoy, he's probably the best man coverage corner in this draft class. And then you combine it with the fact that he has elite speed, I think he has a chance to become one of the best man coverage corners in the NFL. And also, y'all, I still have Peter Woods ranked really high. I know a lot of people have been kind of low on Peter Woods because he did not, run too well, or excuse me, he did not perform too well, I should say, this past season for the Clemson Tigers. But he was absolutely dominant, excuse me, in 2024. And y'all, here's the thing. I mean, a lot of players really underachieved for Clemson this past season. It wasn't just Peter Woods. A lot of players did not have great seasons for them this year. I don't think that's an indication that Peter Woods isn't a good player. So I'm still really high on him. Moving on to page 3, we have Caden McDonald, Avion Terrell, Keldrick Falk, Colton Hood, CJ Allen, Monroe Freeland, Caleb Lomo, Caleb Banks, Omar Cooper Jr., and Emmanuel McNeil Warren. And that might be surprising to see Omar Cooper Jr. ranked this high, but y'all, I think he is one of the most underrated players in this draft class. He reminds me so much of Amon-Ra St. Brown and Luther Burden in terms of his size. He's about 6 feet, 190 pounds, but he plays much bigger than that. He's an absolute dog, y'all, as a run blocker. He will run you over. He will stiff arm you to the ground. I mean, to me, he is a wide receiver in a running back's body. I mean, I just love the play strength. I love how compact he is, and I love his versatile skill set that he has. You can put him, in motion. You can put him in jet sweeps. You can put him in the backfield. He's going to make plays. You can line him up in the slot. He's going to make plays. You can line him up out wide, and he's going to make plays. So I'm a huge fan of Omar Cooper Jr. and also y'all Emmanuel, McNeil Warren, who he honestly might end up moving up a little bit more on my big board because I know he had an incredible combine performance yesterday. I know he didn't run the fastest. He ran like 4.52, which is still pretty fast, y'all, considering that he is 6'3", 201 pounds. So he's a big safety out there. But my comparison for him is Cam Chancellor. I mean, he is absolute physical as a run defender, and he is looking to blow you up every single time he tackles you, y'all. He's not one of these guys that is just content with getting the tackle. No, he wants to get a big hit every single time he tackles you. And he also has pretty good range and coverage versatility. Now, he's not elite in coverage, but for a guy his size, I think he moves pretty well in coverage. I think he has really good range and instincts in coverage. So, yeah, I'm really big fan of his as well. And again, y'all, he could end up moving up a little bit higher on my big board because I'm just really love what I saw from him yesterday at the combine. Moving on to slide 3, we have Akeem Mesidor, Lee Hunter, Dylan Thieneman, Casey Concepcion, Jadarian Price, Christian Miller, Blake Miller, Caden Proctor, TJ Parker, and Ty Simpson. And then y'all going on to the final slide, we have Anthony Hill, Keith Abney, Max Ianker, Chris Braswell, Malachi Fields, Zion Young, R. Mason Thomas, Zachariah Branch, D'Angelo Pons, and Jake Golday. So there you have it, man. That is my top 50 2026 NFL big board. And that is subject to change, y'all. I mean, especially with some of these players' combine performances, some of them could be higher, some of them could be lower. But right now, I like this big board. And again, some of these players, might be ranked lower. They might be ranked higher than you think they should be. But this is how I had them rank, y'all. And I really love this list that I've compiled so far. And again, it definitely will change in the coming weeks. But I think it's a pretty good list right now. And I will go back over this at the end of this stream for anybody that might have missed it. I will definitely go back over it once this stream has concluded. And man, y'all, I think the combine has been incredible so far. I mean, you talking about the performance that Sonny Styles had, Kenya Sadiq. I mean, these guys are absolute freaks. But as I stated yesterday in my Sunday Styles video, the biggest reason, y'all, that I loved his combine performance is that his production matches it. He's not one of these guys just at what we like to call a combine warrior. No, he is an elite football player who has incredible size, speed, athleticism, range, and coverage ability. And I really love his maturity, y'all. I mean, I think he is wise beyond his years. And I would not be surprised if he ends up going, second overall to the New York Jets. And that might seem high for an off-ball linebacker, but I think his play, I think his production, and I think his combine performance definitely warrants him potentially being selected with the second overall pick. So, yeah, that's why I really loved his combine performance. I know a lot of people going crazy about it, but when you turn on the tape, you see a guy, y'all, that's an elite football player. And in my opinion, he's the best off-ball linebacker we've seen in quite some time. And also, y'all got to show some love to his teammate, Arvo Reese, because he had an incredible combine performance as well, running a 4.46 40-yard dash. As y'all see, I think he's the second best player in this draft class. I think he's the best defensive player in this draft class. I'm a huge fan of Arvo Reese. I really want my Tennessee Titans to draft him, but if we're not able to get him, I would also love Caleb Downs, David Bailey, Ruben Bain, Sonny Styles, Carnell Tate, and the shocker, y'all, would be Jeremiah Love. We're hearing rumors that the Titans are very interested in Jeremiah Love. Do they think he's the best player in this draft class? Which I agree. I do think he's the best player in this draft class, so I would not mind that at all. And y'all, we're gonna see what happens. I mean, right now, I'll say it's a 10% chance the Titans draft Jeremiah Love. So I don't think it's likely to happen, but if we cut Tony Pollard, it definitely could happen. And I know kind of similar with Sonny Styles, like, oh, you don't want to take a running back that high, but y'all, Jeremiah Love is a dynamic playmaker. He would, greatly improve our offense. And so I would love that. But if he doesn't go to us, I also could see the Arizona Cardinals selecting him. I know they have Trey Benson and James Conner, but y'all, listen, I mean, James Conner, he's 31 years old. He's kind of on the back end of his career at this point. And Trey Benson is a solid player, but he's not Jeremiah Love. So I would not let his presence prevent me from selecting Jeremiah Love. I definitely think the Cardinals could select him. Y'all definitely think they should have a lot of interest in him. And yeah, like I said, we'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens in terms of where Jeremiah Love is going to go. But I would love to see him go in the top five, y'all. I think we need to show some love to, these positions that quote unquote are undervalued, underappreciated positions, like off ball linebacker, like safety, like like running back, like safety, and like off ball linebacker. So yeah, I hope Jeremiah Love can go in the top five. Y'all, it looks like the combine is back, so I'm going to pull it back up. And again, appreciate everyone for being here, man. Hope you are doing well. Hope you have enjoyed the combine so far, because I know I most certainly have. It's been very entertaining, right? And yeah, y'all, looks like it's back, or maybe they were just. Let me see. Nope. Okay, that was just a little quick segment they were doing about Fernando Mendoza. All right, so I'll go back to my big board for y'all. All right, there we go. But yeah, I think this is a great big board that I've compiled so far. If you have any questions about it, any comments about it, please feel free. Some of y'all might disagree that I have Fernando Mendoza at 4, but I think that just because he's a quarterback doesn't automatically mean he should be, the number one player in the draft class. Because I don't believe he's the most talented player. I think he's a great player. I think he's gonna have a really good career. But y'all, let's not make it seem like he's a generational talent. The way Jeremiah Love is, Caleb Downs, Arthur Reese, like these guys are generational talents. Fernando Mendoza, again, he's a great talent. He's not a generational talent, y'all. There's two different things. And sometimes people think that if you're a great player, that means you're a generational prospect. And y'all, that's not the case. Okay. We've seen great quarterbacks like Fernando Mendoza before. Like if you take a guy like Brady Quinn in 2007, he was a great quarterback. He wasn't a generational prospect, right? So we've seen guys like Fernando Mendoza before. Really haven't seen too many running backs like Jeremiah Love. Haven't seen too many linebackers slash edge rushers like Arvo Reese. And we definitely haven't seen too many safeties like Caleb Downs. So I think all of those guys are better players than Fernando Mendoza. Because again, y'all, when I evaluate a player, I don't factor in his position. I just look at his tape. I look at his production to see how I should rank him. And I just think those guys are better players than him. Now he plays, a more valuable position, quote unquote, but I just think those guys are better players than him. So that's how I had them ranked. And that will never change. Let me say that will not change. I will never have Fernando Mendoza as the best player in this draft class because I don't think he's the best player in this draft class. So that's just my take on it. You also see I have Makai Lemon in my top 10. Makai Lemon is an absolute dog. When I did my scouting report for him a couple of weeks ago, I compared him to Steve Smith Sr., one of the greatest receivers in NFL history. And I know Makai Lemon doesn't have the measurables. I think he measured in at 5'11", 195 pounds. But y'all, this kid is an absolute dog in the slot, man. And I think he would be a great fit for the LA Rams because we know that Rams value toughness and physicality at their receiver position. You talk about his hands. He's a new house route runner. He has great play strength, great contact balance. He's a really solid run blocker, and he is a big time yard after catch guy, y'all. I mean, you get the football in his hands, and he is super dynamic after the catch. Not because he's incredibly fast, but because he does a great job of just making guys miss in the open field. He's very elusive, and I think sometimes, y'all, it's better to be elusive, than it is to be fast. Because just because you're fast does not mean you can make guys miss. But Makai Lemon definitely can make corners and linebackers and safeties miss in the open field. So I'm a huge fan of his game. It's close for me, y'all, between he and Carnell Tate. Now, as y'all see, I have Carnell Tate ranked higher than him, but it's close though. It's definitely close. And I can see why some people would think that Makai Lemon is better than Carnell Tate, right? I have Carnell Tate ranked ahead of him, but it's definitely close between them. And then also, y'all can't forget about Jordan Tyson. So I think this wide receiver class is incredibly good at the top, but it also has some really good depth like Omar Cooper, Casey Concepcion, Malachi Fields, Chris Brazel. I mean, there's some really good receivers in this draft class, which is great for my Tennessee Titans because Lord knows we definitely need some more playmakers around our young quarterback, Cam Ward. And yeah, that was just my little spiel about Makai Lemon and some of the other wide receivers in this draft class. But y'all, the NFL Combine is back. It looks like they are speaking to Stacey Deslock. She's speaking to Taylor Green. So let's listen to what he has to say. All right, let me get it pulled back up.
Whole life, so I knew I was gonna do pretty good in the broad and the vert. And the vertical, the goal was to see if I could touch all the way to the top.
But that's your best yet in your lifetime. That was your best vertical. Let's take us through the drills.
Oh yeah, just trying to stay smooth, get my feet there, and open up my hips, especially to the left. And in 3D, we've been working on these routes since I first got there. So yeah.
Yeah, so here is the look your brother right here, Mike Washington. He ran a blistering 40. What do you think about those numbers right there and just your brother?
To be honest, I'm not surprised. I've seen it since he first got here in the spring, and I'm just excited that everybody got to see it. So I'm definitely proud of him, and we're both, proud to represent Arkansas.
He was in tears. I was so happy. I know you were so happy. By the way, it's pretty cool. You weren't like a power forward in hoops. You were like a 2-3, which is a shooting guard.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna stroke that thing. I'm gonna shoot it. I'm a shooter.
You are a shooter. I want to talk though about the most important person in your life. That would be your fiance, Annalise Batista. What is she doing today? Tell everybody.
Well, first, most important person in my life, Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Then second, and my parents.
Yeah.
Is second. Then no, it's my fiance, about to be my wife. My bad. I'm sorry. About to be my wife. So she's going to be second once we get the ring on and everything. But yeah, she's running today, so I'm excited to watch her run. She has the final 800 and the final 4x4 today, the SEC championship. So right after get off the field, I'm gonna tune in and watch.
You guys are going to have some crazy athletic kids, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We can't think about that right now, Can't think about that right now, but yeah, definitely.
Very quick. Your no question, we're going to play quarterback in the NFL. These teams understand that.
Oh yeah, I'm a QB. I'm always been a QB, and I'm a QB.
All right, my friend, great job today. What a job, Chris Rose, that Mr. Talon Green accomplished here at the NFL Combine. Awesome.
He's got a big smile on his face. I know you chatted with
As
him a
well
little
he
bit
should.
as well, right?
Yeah, I got a chance to meet this young man at the Manning Passing Academy a couple of years ago and last season as well. Infectious smile, great determination, and he
down here on. He's been in the on-deck circle. And
yes, sir.
where he falls in this draft, it's going to be fast. Have different quarterback questions, right? You got the Browns at 6 and 24, you got the Jets at 2 and 16, and then you got the Rams, who we know they're great, but they are going to look for Matthew Stafford's eventual successor. So does Ty Simpson fit with any of those teams, and what are you watching?
You know, to me, he fits with the Rams more than anything because he won't have to play right away. Remember, we're talking about a young man who's only had 15 starts in college, had a sensational season with Alabama, but all things being considered, I would have expected him to go back to school. But I think he and his group did a nice job in understanding the quarterback field this year. You know, when we got Dante Moore going back to school at Oregon, Chambliss winning his case and going back to school at Ole Miss, he kind of locked into being what appears to be the number 2 quarterback. Good time to be that guy because, as you said, multiple picks. There could be someone in the back half of the first round that goes and gets Ty Simpson, and at worst, he's a second-round pick. But I think in this group, as we spin it forward, it's going to be interesting because prior to the season, take a look by the numbers. Yeah, Brock Purdy, that's a pretty good comparison for him right there, except for one thing.
The college experience.
The college experience.
Right.
Brock Purdy had, 43, 46 starts while at Iowa State and helped build a program. Ty Simpson, part of a program that you always expect to be great, gets them to the college football playoff in his 1 year as a starter. So both of them did a great job on campus, just not quite as long.
Yeah, well, he had 15 starts, and we know that the buzz number, if you will, is 20 starts.
What's Coach Parcells say? He wants a 3-year starter, captain, all that. We're not going to get as much of that anymore. But Ty Simpson with a chance to be the number 2 quarterback in this draft.
All right. We got more quarterback and wide receiver talk coming your way. We got guys like Kate Klubnik, Garrett Nussmeier, Diego Pavia, and more. And don't forget about the receivers led by Carnell Tate.
My boy. All right, y'all. We're going to see what Ty Simpson is going to do. As many of y'all know, Fernando Mendoza will not be participating in the on-field drills. He's going to wait until his pro day to do so. So, it's really going to be a great shot for Ty Simpson to show the people what he can do. As they said, he doesn't have a ton of experience. Had a great year at Alabama, but I do have some concerns about him, y'all. First off, his size. I mean, he's only 6'1", so he has a very slight frame. But also, I thought that his accuracy towards the end of the season really waned off, and that's a big concern to me because normally when you play in that Alabama offense, it's so wide open. You have great weapons like Ryan Williams and Jan Miller and Jeremy Bernard. You would expect, for him to be able to consistently throw the football accurately. But I felt like towards the end of the season, he wasn't. He was kind of putting the ball in harm's way. Some of his throws were very inaccurate and errant. So those are the two biggest concerns I have about Ty Simpson. Really is his size and his accuracy. His inexperience, I mean, that's one thing, but we've seen players not have a ton of experience, and then as soon as they step foot in the NFL, they absolutely dominate the league. So I'm not as worried about that, but his size and his inconsistent accuracy, y'all, that is a huge concern to me. But it's gonna be interesting to see what he does today. Hopefully, he can have a pretty good combine performance, show off, his arm and his arm strength. And then, some of these receivers like Carnell Tate. I'm not sure if Mekhi Lemon is going to be participating in the drills. It's really hard to know if some of these players are going to be participating in any drills or if they're going to be running a 40-yard dash. Because although all of them are here, some of them are electing to wait to their pro day to do so. So I'm not sure if Makai Lemon is going to be running. I hope he does. Because I know some people think he's incredibly slow. He isn't. So would love to see him run a 40-yard dash. Definitely would love to see him participate in the on-field workouts. But we'll see, y'all. And looks like they're back. They are. They talking to this Fernando Mendoza they talking to? Yeah, I think they talking to him right now. So but yeah, y'all. Um Be interesting to see what Ty Simpson is going to do, and also Cade Klubnik as well. We know he had a great season in 2024 for Clemson, not so well in 2025. But as I mentioned earlier with Peter Woods, y'all, a lot of players on that Clemson team really underachieved. It wasn't just Peter Woods; it was Cade Klubnik as well, also T.J. Parker. But I'm still really high on Peter Woods and T.J. Parker, and I also somewhat like a Cade Klubnik, even though I am kind of concerned about the issues he had this past season, especially with his footwork and his accuracy. But hey, he has a chance to, kind of prove me wrong, prove some of the, doubters wrong, and have a great performance today at the combine. And y'all get ready to put it back up. Now they're talking to Ian Rappaport, who is probably the best reporter in the NFL. So let me get ready to put it back on. And sorry, y'all, I keep going back and forth. I just don't want to get copyrighted. So that's why every time they go on commercial, I'm going to be turning it off because I just don't want to get copyrighted. So hopefully y'all understand that. Let me turn it back up so we can hear it.
Half of one is probably his best case scenario. As of now, and you have a couple teams who would need one. The Cleveland Browns, seems like they're okay with their quarterback room now, but certainly they could use potential franchise starter. Pittsburgh Steelers, the Rams with MVP Matthew Stafford coming on. We'll see if it's his last year, but obviously a possibility. That's probably best case scenario for Ty Simpson. Could also have a team trade back into one to get him late, like we saw with Jackson Dart. And a couple other quarterbacks we're going to be keeping our eye on the next 2 weeks. Derek Carr, who very famously retired about a year or so ago, could potentially unretire for the right situation, as he has said, if he has a chance to come in
That'd be
win a
interesting.
Super Bowl. That is the name we're watching as the quarterback carousel gets going. And then what about Aaron Rodgers? Another offseason, again, wondering, is Aaron Rodgers going to play? He's had positive discussions with the Pittsburgh Steelers and his old friend Mike McCarthy.
No.
Surely an answer is coming before free agency, which is good and bad for us because it means we're not going to get to talk about this in May and June again.
Oh, let me.
Is it devastated about that?
I gotta say,
Is
hold
it
up.
Pittsburgh or
Y'all, Aaron Rodgers is one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time. But it is just time for this man to retire. I'm so sick of going through this same song and dance with him the last 4 years. He needs to retire. He's had a legendary career. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. It's over. And I know that the Steelers hired his former coach, Mike McCarthy, who had a ton of success with, who he won a Super Bowl with the Green Bay Packers. Y'all, it's over. That's okay. And really, if you're a Steelers fan, if you're a part of the Steelers organization, you shouldn't want him back either. It's time, y'all, for the Steelers to just go in a younger direction. I'm so sick and tired of them going through these old retread quarterbacks. It's time for them to finally just get a young guy they could at least develop, y'all. Okay, like I would just roll with Will Howard if I were them. I know Will Howard probably is a pretty raw guy right now, but at least you can mold him into what you want him to be. We know what Aaron Rodgers is at this point, y'all. He's an immobile old quarterback that doesn't want to get hit. Okay, that's just what he is at this point. So it's time for him to call it quits. And again, the Pittsburgh Steelers shouldn't even have any interest in Aaron Rodgers. I would just roll with Will Howard, or I would draft a young quarterback. That's just my take on it. Let's carry on.
Face a really serious decision about whether to stay in or whether to come out. From my understanding,
Right.
or that too, right? My understanding is the information he had told him that he would likely be a first rounder. I believe that, but getting that info 2 months out and actually being a first rounder different, so we're going to be keeping our eye on that one.
All right, let's talk about the pass catchers and the guys we're about to see take the field here in Group 9. You can see DJ's got 5 of them in his top 20 overall, right? And it's led by Carnell Tate. We'll see Makai Lemon. Jordan Tyson is in this group. We just saw Boston and Cooper partake in Group 8. So Carnell Tate, he was not just the other guy in
Mm-mm-mm.
Columbus, CD.
No, he certainly
Ball
wasn't.
skills for
And look,
days,
Jeremiah
man.
Smith obviously got a lot of attention, and
A
rightly so.
smooth
But I
route
had a chance to
runner.
talk with Carnell Tate this week. He knew that when he signed with Ohio State, he
It
was
is a
going
big
into a
play threat
loaded
waiting to
wide
happen.
receiver room, and he said everyone else's pitch to him was, why go there and battle through it? Just come to our place and be the guy from day one. That didn't interest him. So we went from, Jeremiah Smith being the one and Carnell Tate the two, to Carnell Tate moving himself into a position where at worst he was 1A. And then take a look at his comparison with guys who are already out there. Jackson Smith and Jigba, the NFL Offensive Player of the Year in 2025. Wilson is nothing but a 1,000-yard machine. And Chris Olave, I believe, was second-team All-Pro this year. So if you're Ohio State receiver, you're trained very well by Brian Hartline, now the new head coach at the University of South Florida.
Yeah, we don't even mention Marvin Harrison Jr., who's still trying to get his footing in the NFL out in Arizona. Mekhi Lemon is another guy, feels slot. He is just so tough, Charles.
Yeah, and who's that remind you of coming out of USC that plays for the Detroit Lions?
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
There you go. And sometimes these pedigrees, bloodlines, school ties do have some similarities, and they do make a lot of sense. And with Mekhi Lemon, it makes a ton of sense. And if you get him down the seam and you don't get a person on him, he'll end up going ahead and making the house call on you, as he just did right there.
Well, you talked about his comp. I mean, here it is. And if they get any sort of productivity like we've seen out of Amon-Ra St. Brown in 5 years in the NFL, some team is going to be very, very
Yep,
happy.
that's the one. That was my comparison too. Amon-Ra St. Brown and Steve Smith Sr.
That Amon-Ra St. Brown did, where if you walked
That
up
was
to him
my
right
comparison
now, as
too.
Ian knows, and said, who are the receivers that went in front of you? He'd tick off the list right in front of you. Bam, 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 give you the numbers, the whole deal. Mekhi Lemon will not be waiting as long as Amon-Ra St. Brown did.
Absolutely
the
not.
Same determination, same chip on his shoulder. Certainly seems likely.
Ian, what are you hearing about this wide receiver class out of curiosity?
First of all, it seems really good. I would say look, there's not a lot of free agent receivers out there right now. I mean, you have maybe a couple starters. You have the, I would say maybe 1A type receiver. Alec Pierce probably being the top guy available, with George Pickens being franchise tag. So if you need a receiver, this is where you got to get one. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these guys' values are pushed up just because you need one. You mentioned Amon-Ra St. Brown. I was laughing thinking about this. If you've ever sat with him or stood with him at a Kentucky Derby party, as I did, talked about some of the receivers, he is so competitive with so many other receivers across the NFL. It's not just the guys who passed over. It's like he is the best and is takes it very seriously how good he is compared to the other guys. You really get that edge with him.
With a mint julep in your hand, of course.
Well,
there
Do
you
you already
go.
have your Derby drip picked out?
I wait till my wife gets her dress first, and then we match my suit to her dress. So
Does she text you what you need to wear? Is that how you gues
there's
communicate?
a group text, her, my suit guy.
All
and
right,
me.
that's enough.
Look at that.
I'm the idiot
he's
for
part
asking.
of the chosen group.
This is
He's
my
not-
Derby suit last year.
He doesn't even have to be invited to the Derby. He's just part of the whole deal.
It's amazing, Rappaport.
Let's go.
Absolutely incredible. The chattering helmets are back. You know what that means? It's a week from Monday, Rap Sheet. You better
Let's
get
go.
your rest in now, all right?
So these are chattering
rest?
nabobs of the NFL.
Well
How many of
done.
these guys in my little sleep I get?
I can't wait. Tune in Monday, March 9th here on NFL Network. We ready for more wide receivers like Carnell Tate?
Yes, sir. Let's
We
get it.
sure are. Jordan Tyson. We can't wait to see it. Mekhi Lemon. It's all coming up next.
Let's go. Mekhi Lemon is participating in on-field workout, on-field drills, I should say.
In life
that's great.
and in business.
Oh, let me stop. So he is participating. Okay, I love that. Love that he will be participating in that. Hey, this wide receiver class is great, man. This is great from top to bottom. You got elite talent at the top, like Cardinal Tate, Jordan Tyson, Mekhi Lemon. Then got great depth. Omar Cooper, Malachi Fields, Zachariah Branch, Denzel Boston, who I really like. The 20th player on my big board. So yeah, it's a really good Chris Brazzle, Jacoby Lane, incredible depth at wide receiver. And we're gonna be seeing a lot of these guys here momentarily. Um, I tell you what, y'all, if you need a wide receiver, an edge rusher, or a cornerback, this is the draft class for you. because I think this draft is incredibly deep at those three positions. Excuse me. So, and luckily for my Tennessee Titans, those are three areas of concern. Those are three biggest weaknesses. So it's great for us. But yeah, if you need a wide receiver, edge rusher, or a corner, this is the draft class for you because you're going to find incredible talent, y'all. Not just in the first and second round, but in the fourth and fifth rounds at those positions. So, because there are so many wide receivers, corners, and edge rushers that I'm really high on this draft class, y'all. They're going to be fourth and fifth round picks that I believe will be productive players in the NFL for a very long time. So, I just really love the depth at those positions. I think, this is a horrible year, y'all, if you need a quarterback because it's not a great quarterback class, which is kind of surprising because this is like the first time since 2022. I guess it hasn't been that long, but this is the first time since 2022 that there isn't like some elite prospects at the quarterback position. Like Fernando Mendoza, I mean, he's a great prospect. I don't think I would classify him as being an elite prospect though. I think he's a great prospect, but I don't know. Normally you always have at least one, maybe even two, like elite quarterback prospects. We don't have that this year. So if you need a quarterback, unfortunately, you got to wait till next year because next year's class looks like it's really going to be great with Arch Manning and Lenore Sellers. But yeah, y'all, you know what though? I kind of like that because this means we don't have to hear all these reporters and these analysts talk about the quarterback position. So actually, I love that. I love it. What's going on, man? What do you think about these fools saying Tyson on to Levis? Yeah, you're right. They're absolute fools. I mean, for what? I know he doesn't want to be here. Personally, I don't want him here. I think it would just create a weird dynamic. After what he did last season when he decided to delay his surgery, when he could have had it immediately after the conclusion of last season, what did he do, man? He waited until July during the middle of training camp to say, "Oh, I need shoulder surgery." So yeah, I don't want him on my team any longer. And y'all know I was really high on Will Levis, but I just think that was a punk move, if you ask me. Have him compete with Cam. I want us to sign a veteran quarterback, Whether it's Jacoby Brissett, I don't know who it would be. Whether if that's potentially signing to it if the Dolphins release him. So that's why I want us to do. Get a veteran quarterback in the building. So people actually want us to set a first round pick for this 411 shake. It's crazy, man. Obviously, it's not going to happen. Cam is our franchise quarterback, and we're going to build this team around him. So, any of those people that want Will Levis, want him back, I should say, want him to compete with Cam Ward. I'm sorry, that's just not going to happen. So, and I think it would be best for him for us to just move on. Like, I think he needs a fresh start. Maybe he can go to like I don't know the Falcons or Jets or the Vikings and compete. I don't know. I don't know. I want James Winston. Yeah, James would be good, man. James would be a good vet. He would definitely be a good vet for sure. I would not mind that at all. I forgot about James. I'm glad you mentioned him. Forgot about James, man. Winston and Cam would be awesome. LOL. Man, exactly. They would be hilarious too, wouldn't they? We know James Winston is like one of the most hilarious players in the NFL. So yeah, I would love him as a nice vet in that quarterback room because that's what Cam Ward needs. He needs a vet, man. A guy that has a lot of experience playing in the NFL that knows how to deal with the media criticism. That's what we want. Yeah, that's what we need. That's what we need. That's what he needs. So we will have all kind of shorts to drop just watching them to play off each other. Big facts, man. Big facts. Yeah, Cam, he said some very, very hilarious things in his rookie season. So yeah. And again, we know Jameis, he's been a clown. He's been a clown since he was at Florida State. I watched him and Jameis Winston. Excuse me, I watched him and Jalen Ramsey at Florida State, and those guys were just absolutely hilarious. So Yeah, it would definitely be funny to see he and Cam in the same room for sure. But yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, man. I don't know why people want Will Levis back. For what? Just time for us to move on. Time for us to move on. And I think again, it's best for him if we just move on. So, all right, y'all. Right now they're just talking. So, Brazel to the Titans in the second round. What you think? But I would love it. I'm a big fan of Chris Brazel. He's 6'4", about 215 pounds. And I think a lot of people just see him as being a vertical threat, but I think he's a pretty good route runner. And I know that UT, just because of the way that their offensive system is ran there, he didn't really get a chance to showcase his full route running repertoire. But I think he is a very good route runner on all three levels, short, intermediate, and deep. I think he has really good hands. And he provides some much needed speed and explosiveness to our offense. So I would absolutely love that. I think if you have him and Alec Ayomana on the outside, you can, groom those two guys to be the future number one and number two receiver for us for years to come. And then, I mean, I still think we could keep Calvin Ridley, honestly. So, because we really don't need the money. I know everyone keeps saying, well, if the Titans release Calvin Ridley, they would save $13 million in cap. But, I mean, we have $97 million. So, and Calvin really is still, when he's healthy, he's still a good player. So yeah, that would be a good receiver room. You have he, Chris Brazel, Alec Ayomano, Chimere DK. And then if we were to sign Wandale Robertson, man, that's a pretty solid wide receiver room. It's not great, but it's definitely an upgrade from what we had last season. It would be probably the best wide receiver room we've had ever. Because a couple years ago we thought Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins, and Tyler Boyd was going to be the best wide receiver room that we ever had, and that didn't come to fruition. So, yeah, I would definitely like Chris Brazel, man, for sure. Um, I think it's going to be interesting to see what we do in free agency though, because if we do sign Wandale Robinson and we keep Calvin Ridley, then I wonder if the Titans will want to address, cornerback with that 35th pick, or maybe even linebacker, because I think I think we have a need at linebacker. Cody Barton, he's solid. Obviously, we know Seth's great. He's great, but I don't think Cody Barton is the best fit for Robert Sala's defense, to be honest. Because Robert Sala values speed and athleticism in linebacker. Those are two traits that Cody Barton doesn't possess. So, um, yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting to see what we do with the 35th pick. Because we have a number of options. We can go wide receiver, we go corner, we go edge rusher. If we don't take edge at pick 4, we can go linebacker. We can maybe even go safety with Emmanuel McNeil Warren out of Toledo, a guy that I'm super high on. So yeah, we have a lot of options with that 35th pick for sure. And unlike last year, I hope we stay at pick 35 because we missed out on the guy I really wanted, and that was Luther Burden. We saw Luther Burden had an incredible season for the Chicago Bears. So yeah, I hope we just stay at 35 instead of trading down. So unless we just get, a trade that we cannot, we cannot pass up on, like we get offered a second and a third round pick, then yeah, sure, take it. But if we don't get great value for pick 35, then we just need to stick and pick. Because I know it's gonna be a lot of great football players there. A lot of great players. Like I think Colton Hood, he's probably going to be there. Could see him going. I think Colton Hood is gonna go anywhere from like maybe 23, 24 till about our pick 35. So Colton, he could be there. I think Chris Johnson is definitely going to be there. And no, I'm not talking about the running back. Y'all talking about the cornerback out of San Diego State, Omar Cooper Jr. Although I'm really feeling like he's going the first round now, so there's definitely going to be some good corners. I think Chris Brasso, he's going to be there at 35. I think Malachi Fields is going to be there. So it's going to be some good wide receivers and corners at 35 for sure. Definitely want to be there. It's going to depend on what route we want to take. So do we want to take a wide receiver? Do we want to take a DB? Do we want to take an edge rusher? Or do we want to make maybe a surprising pick and take like a linebacker or maybe even running back? Like I think Jadarian Price is going to be there at 35, and I'm super high on him. He's a 35th ranked player on my big board. So it's a lot of paths that we have for sure. And we just got to choose which one we want to go down. But all right, y'all, it is back. I like that. We had a quick little Q&A session right there, but it is back. Rich Eisen and Dan Jeremiah, they're talking to Coach GM Chris Ballard, and I'm very interested in what he's going to say because I'm sure they're going to ask him about Anthony Richardson, y'all. So let's listen to what he has to say again. Appreciate everyone for being here. Hope you're doing well, man. If you're new, please hit that like and subscribe button, y'all. And yeah, I hope you have enjoyed the stream so far. And obviously, we're not done yet, baby. We still got a long way to go. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Well, this
All
is
right,
gonna
y'all.
help here.
Perfect
Cole
timing.
Payton
Let's
can
get
run.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
He just jumped 40. I think it was 40 when I was standing
did.
over there by the vertical jump.
I'll give it to you right here.
You got it?
Yeah. Cole Payton, 40 vert, 10-10 broad.
Okay, so that translates.
He can run.
He should be pretty fast. What do you think? 448, Rich?
I'll sure. Why not? I mean, those numbers at vert and broad usually translate, right? Let's go.
Go 52, Chris.
Okay.
Cole Payton. Run is 40. 4, 5, 6.
Ooh.
See the.
I didn't know he had that type of
who's
speed.
he gonna
Okay.
spit out for us here with the numbers.
Tebow.
Oh, here we go. How about that? Tebow jumped 38 and a half. Cole's significantly faster. But you got the lefties. They put the lefties next to each other
Look
there.
at that. That's why we call it a comp.
Big hands, big guys.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go. Baylor Bear. Sick 'em, Chris. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Sawyer Robertson.
Sawyer. Fun fact, I was at Sawyer Robertson's graduation, and he wasn't. My son graduated in December, and I saw he was on the list. I was going to go say hi to him, but he was training, so he didn't make it back for his own graduation.
I thought
Priorities,
otherwise
right?
that's a red flag, right?
No, it's about the work.
Here we go. 4.65.
Yeah, you can ship me my cap.
That's a great time
I'm
for him.
getting ready to run 4.65.
Okay. You want to make some news up here?
Well, I mean,
come on now. You know what questions I'm going to ask. You know what questions I'm going to.
You know just how to ask them too,
Right,
just
but
to
your
get
quarterback.
me going.
Your quarterback. What's your quarterback situation looking like?
Well, I mean, looks good.
Okay. All right.
We've got to get. We're working on Daniel right now.
Okay.
Excited about where he's going. Shame, it ended the way it did for him, but couldn't have been more happy with how he came in as a professional, handled everything, handled the competition, connected with the locker room, and then performed. I mean, we thought he played pretty good in New York, and then, you look at circumstances around the league, guys, sometimes it takes their second, third team before they hit their stride. And we thought he was hitting his stride and unfortunately got hurt. So we're working through it right now, but, we look forward to having him back.
Do you feel he could be ready for week 1? Everything works out with you guys contractually? Do you think he's physically going to be ready?
Well, I'm not a doctor, but saying that, it's positive. It's a positive outlook. He's doing everything he's supposed to be doing. That's the one thing you don't worry about Daniel. Like, he is going to exhaust himself with the rehab. We've had some other Achilles, on our team in the last few years, and they've all came back, and I think that'll be around the 9-month mark. So, we think he's got a good shot.
After he went down and you're scrambling there, what was the first conversation like with Rivers to be able to talk him into doing this thing last year?
Well, Shane we happened to be delayed, in Jacksonville, and Shane walks up and says, "Hey, what about Phillip?" I said, "Yeah, why not?" I'll tell y'all this. It was the coolest moment. I was standing behind him when he first, for pregame, when he runs out on the field to go with the rest of the team.
In Seattle, this was?
In Seattle.
Okay.
And it was incredible. It was one of the most courageous acts I've seen by a player. I mean, hadn't played in 5 years, 3 days of practice, and comes in and gives us every chance he could to win.
That team's pretty good, too.
I was like, when he ran out on the field, just that moment. I mean, you thought he was a play. I mean, the cameras were lined up. I mean, it was just a really neat, cool moment. And then, like, we lost a gut-wrenching, last-second field goal and lose the game after our guy hit a 60-yarder. And in the locker room, what he talked about to the team was incredible. I mean, he talked about why he's playing, and it certainly wasn't for the money, because we didn't pay him a lot of money. It was because he loved to play and he loved the feeling in that locker room. I mean, it was an unbelievable message. Now I laugh at the reaction from it, because I understand why it was the way it was. But those who know Philip, his mind, it's as good as anybody, and we knew he could protect himself. And Shane had been with him, so he had such a familiarity with the offense. But it was really one of the coolest moments I've been around.
Yeah, and it was against the eventual Super Bowl winning defense in Seattle.
Yep, they're pretty good.
Where you came this close to being the last team to beat them.
Yeah,
in the NFL this year.
Yeah, it's like there's like 5 games in that losing streak we had that we came down to last minute or two of the game. We got to find ways to finish them.
When you see what Sam did with that Seattle team, and now you've got Daniel, hopefully you guys can figure that out. But is this a new thing we're going to see now with these guys? And Baker's had his success as well of saying, hey, let's not give up on these guys. I mean, these were talented guys picked high for a reason, and see if you can find the right opportunity, right fit for them.
Man, I think anytime you put a 1 next to a quarterback's name, man, the clock starts ticking fast. I mean, it is not a slow clock. And I mean, understood why. People are impatient and they want to get wins. So sometimes quarterbacks are going to have to go through these struggles. And I talked about it with the media the other day, but they can stand on the edge of the abyss. They can't jump. And that's where you give guys like Sam Darnold and Baker and, Daniel. I mean, they were at the end where they thought, man, I had failed. But they had enough. Their character allowed them to continue to believe in themselves, continue to work, and things worked out in the long run. When I was in Kansas City, we had Alex Smith, who had been through a pretty rough beginning, to start his career, and had to endure. And they all had the same. Like, I bet all these guys have the same competitive drive and trait and belief in themselves, no matter how hard it got. It's the hardest thing for a scout to figure out.
Where do you put Anthony Richardson in this category?
I'm glad he asked. That's what I've been wanting to know.
I'm close with, and we think, look, I'm proud of Anthony. He's still a young player that we think still has upside. And how he handled last year, like, he had tremendous growth. That's what people kind of got lost in the sauce, but he had tremendous growth, during the preseason, then being the number 2 quarterback, behind Daniel and watching Daniel work. And then the unfortunate accident with his eye, and, we ended up missing him. I mean, he definitely would have helped us down the stretch. So we'll see. I've given his permission, his agent, to look around. I mean, we want to do the right thing for Anthony too. But we do think he has a future in this league.
Chris Ballard with us. Is the delay was essentially let these guys catch their breath, because there's only 2 of them running. So just give them a couple of seconds to exhale and give it one more run here. So there's Mendoza in the background talking to Matthew Hasselbeck, who had some nice run here too.
No question.
He had some nice run here towards the end of his career.
Let's see if Cole Payton can even run faster.
Dakota State's turned out a few. Carson Wentz, Trey Lance, and Cole Payton here at the combine. 4, 5, 6 first time. Let's stick with it.
That's nice. That's nice.
Regardless.
On the quarterback topic, Chris, when you look, we just saw Cole Payton run as a 1-year starter, had a lot of success, so it's a great program. And now we're going to see, Ty Simpson work out in this group as well, who's got 15 starts under his belt. As you look at it, and you guys have had guys that had a lot of experience, guys who haven't had a lot of experience, just what advantage is it to have had more college experience?
Every college quarterback I talk to, I would encourage to stay in school, just so they can get the live bullets. You know, every look you get in college is just another look that's going to help you succeed when you get into the NFL. And now when you put NIL into play, they're making good money. All right, so that's not, you know, they're not coming into our league to make their money because they're making it right now. And then the more they play, the easier it's going to be when they hit our level. Like the clock starts and we're not waiting. And so I think if you just look at the history of guys that have played 4 or 5 years in college, it is pretty strong. I mean, I always think back to Peyton and Eli, you know, both, you know, playing their entire college careers. I think play history matters. It does. And the more you get, the better chance you get to have a successful NFL career. It's not about, I mean, look, in the short term and I know everybody wants to be the first pick of the draft and everybody wants to be a first-round pick. But in the big scheme of things, what do you want to be? You want to be a successful starting quarterback in the NFL. And you can play a long time with that. To me, you give yourself a chance to succeed when you get more snaps in college.
There's Fernando Mendoza talking with Matthew right there. 35 career starts for him between Cal and Indiana. Clearly, you're not in the running for this guy. What do you think? What's your evaluation? Even living in the state and watching what they
how couldn't you
what they were doing, right?
I mean, and how couldn't you watch? So I actually met him last year. My kid's a good friend of mine, works for a record company, and he got us tickets to Bailey Zimmerman. Well, next thing you know, I'm with Mendoza and his whole and a bunch of the Indiana players. You know, at that concert, standing right next to him, and then on, you know, afterwards. So I got a chance to spend a little time with him, and like he is, I think he's smart. I think he's accurate, and I think he is tough.
This is the
I think
tough
he's
part.
legit. I think he's legit tough.
I want to put this together because we talk about watching these guys throw. How about just the toughness? In some of the biggest games, the shots that he took, and he just kept getting up and up and up, and this is how it culminated. Just absorbing one last hit and not going down, but
his
just
toughness
spin
right
off of it
there
and get into the end zone. I thought that one play just kind of, that just showed who he was, the grit, the toughness that he possessed. Sometimes it's not always about how you throw it or how you run it or how smart you all possess, and that's why you think about Matt Ryan. Those were one of his calling cards coming out of BC as well.
One of the great stories in the history of college football, if not the greatest coaching job in the history of college football, with Curt Cignetti and what his staff has done. And
sorry about it. My comp for Fernando Mendoza is Jared Goff.
You know, you got Indiana that comes through and wins it all, and probably didn't quite have the same resources at the same time when they were building the team. Just a tremendous, I think it's great for college football.
Good dude to be standing next to as well, right there, in terms of experience.
Matt Hasselbeck, former Titans legendary quarterback.
Pretty cool to see him here at this combine. So you think he is a legit first overall draft choice, Chris?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, look, one thing with quarterbacks that lift programs to another level, places that you wouldn't think. Just think of, I remember Dak Prescott. We had a scout that loved Dak Prescott. I mean, he's at Mississippi State, and he's got him #1 in the country.
Right.
I mean, and then goes all the way in the 4th round. Now, Indiana had a great year the year before, had a lot of returning players, but you have to think Fernando had a lot to do with also helping lift up a program. I think anytime a quarterback comes in and wins at such a big level and lifts a program up, you've got to take notice, because it usually translates.
So he's got a big throw tape, and he's got a tough.
Yeah, we put a lot of tapes together.
We're
not going to have a tape of him throwing out
that's
here
right,
today, but we're going to have a lot of
that's my comparison with Fernando Mendoza and Jared Goff.
On the line,
big moments
over and over again.
In my opinion, I think he's more athletic than Matt Ryan. So
Penn State, and then playoff games, Big Ten championship games. That's one of the things, Chris, I've been excited about, is that the realignment is the thing that doesn't get discussed. But where the Big Ten is at now, and obviously where the SEC is, there's so much good tape where you're not watching a guy play against 1 or 2 good programs. You make it through the gauntlet of the playoffs, man, you've been through a grinder. You've seen a lot of good talent.
Oh, look, I mean, in those 2 leagues, but you just said it with Indiana. Like, every week, I mean, it's like the NFL. Like, you don't get a week off. So you got to be able to bring it and win. And Like, I love the playoffs. I think it's great for college football. I wish they'd expand it. If I had my choice, I'd expand it, to a bigger and make it a bigger playoffs.
The conference championship games, we can be done there. That's fine. Let's expand the playoffs and let's
be careful.
Go.
This is the building he works in, so we don't want to put him in that position.
I know.
The game here in this house.
I like getting the more teams.
I'm with you, though.
I think that's the way to go.
I'm with you. We saw Jeremiah Love here earlier. Walk us through your evaluation of Jonathan Taylor when you got a chance to see him. Speaking of terrific running backs and Big Ten guys, even though Jeremiah Love is not, but
they're different. They're different.
Right, but just an evaluation of a running back who goes and kills it once he hits to the National Football League.
So look, my Wisconsin connection. All right, so I'd been watching Jonathan.
Right.
Since and Paul Chris had told me multiple times, this guy's freaky rare.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I am sitting in a suite for Ohio State, Wisconsin, and Jonathan makes a cut at about the 42-yard line, and it was a whole. Well, hold on. I won't say a bad word. It was like, holy cow.
Yeah.
Look at that. And even you could just kind of hear the crowd grasp. That grasp when somebody does something special. And then I'll never forget, this is where I miss Jim. Like on draft day, we didn't have a first-round pick that year.
Right.
So we took Michael Pittman, who's been a really good player for us, and then we've been talking, and he knew how much we love Jonathan. And all of a sudden, we're talking about, what's our next pick, and we're like at 44, and Jim's like, hey, and we're Zoom because it's COVID.
That's right.
All of a sudden you hear, hey, Chris, you sure like that Taylor? I'd sure hate to see him go in front of you. All right, boys, we're trading up.
We're trading up.
That's a good call.
By the way, not too bad a call. He's just been dynamite. Dynamite.
Fantastic.
No doubt about it.
By the way, how about the tape room? We get to Jonathan Taylor, boom. We got Jonathan Taylor combine highlights just popping right up for us.
We've been at it a while. Got a great team.
We're in a little bit of a lull here waiting for these guys. Ty Simpson, we teased it. And we're going to see him throw here in this next group out of Alabama. And it's really going to be a fascinating conversation because of the limited starts. We discussed the 15 starts, but man, he started out the year. He was on fire. His first 7-8 games of the year, you could see everything. Mechanically, you can see son of a coach. Everything's really, really clean and compact. Real smooth in the pocket.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier about Ty Simpson. He started off the year incredibly well.
Throw the ball really well. Processing, he can get 1 to 2.
I thought his accuracy and his footwork just really declined as the season progressed. So
and then enough athleticism to get him outside the pocket, and he can get you some success out there as well.
Yeah, some of that could be coming from a lack of experience, though, especially with his footwork.
Processing is the superpower, and that's what Ty Simpson's going to rely on at the next level.
Except he's just had 15 starts. That's it of his career. They were all last year. Purdy, just again to sort of, I guess, bring this all full circle, vast amount of experience at Iowa State.
A ton.
Right. Nick's had some experience, obviously, in his many stops. Right. I mean, just again, there's no substitute for doing it, and coming into the National Football League.
One thing I'll give Ty, when I heard Ty talk about, which I loved his answer, when he said, they asked him, why not transfer, go somewhere, and he said, my legacy, and I want to be able to come back to Alabama. I give him credit now, because that's, a lot of guys would have said, okay, let me just go find the next place. I'll go get the most money I can. And, he made the choice because he wants to come play in the NFL.
I was able to track him down. I wanted to talk to him because I wanted to hear his answer for why he came out, because there was a lot of reports, and I didn't want to get into it, about he could have very lucrative offers in the transfer portal, but decided to come out. And he said, look, I started 15 games, but I played in like 30 other games. And he said, I'm practicing against the best defense in the country my freshman and sophomore year. I'm looking over there and I'm seeing, some of the elite players in the National Football League on that side of the ball, Will Anderson being one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, I don't feel like I'm as inexperienced as I'm being labeled. Now, there's still there's no substitute for game experience, but that's the way he's kind of answering those questions. And he wanted the challenge of going to the NFL and truly believes in himself and feels that he's ready. But it does make for some interesting conversations in the draft room.
Did you know that a couple of years ago, he and I struck a deal that if 6 quarterbacks could get taken before his team was on the clock, he would come on my show anytime.
I told you.
Really?
And
All you
Bo
gotta do is
Nix
let me
gets
know.
drafted. I'm like,
And he's
there we
texting
go.
me, right?
Boom.
I'm looking at my phone, and
During
I'm
the
trying, I'm trying to decipher it. Like we're about to pick, and I'm going, what does he mean? And then I go, oh.
Yeah.
I said, well, Matt, looks like I'm going on Rich's show.
What do you want this time? What do you want this year? You tell me. I'll try and make it
I'm
happen
better
with
before
my-
the draft. If you give me the
Okay.
week before the draft,
got
that's
it.
when I'm good.
Great to see you.
Yes,
Always
sir.
great to
Thank
chop it
you.
up with Chris
Thanks, buddy.
Ballard,
Good to see you,
Appreciate it.
Chris.
the
Appreciate you.
GM of the Indianapolis Colts. Our hosts. Receivers are going to be running in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Back with more from the NFL Scouting Combine. We're live on NFL Network.
All right, y'all. So coming up, we will see the quarterback on-field workouts, I should say. Really intrigued to see what Ty Simpson is going to do. As y'all just heard, Dan Jeremiah, he basically, you know, stated what I said earlier that he started the year. Ty Simpson started the year incredibly well, but as the year progressed, his footwork, his mechanics, his accuracy really declined. So I don't know if that was just due to a lack of experience or it's because he's just not a great player the way some people think he is. I don't know. It could be a combination of both, but he has a great opportunity today to really showcase what he could do. And again, y'all, Fernando Mendoza is not participating in the on-field drill. So Ty Simpson, basically has the stage all to himself. Let's see what he's going to do. So I'm really interested to see how he's going to perform when they get to the deep ball passes. And see how his accuracy looks. Cause again, y'all know his accuracy just really, really got worse as the season progressed. So um yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how he performs. But I'm really excited to see these receivers, y'all. Carnell Tate. I'm assuming we're going to see Jordan Tyson. But I know we're definitely going to be seeing Carnell Tate and Mekhi Lemon. Hopefully, we see Jordan Tyson. I think those are the three best receivers in this draft class. Again, for maybe the people that are just now tuned in, I'll go through and show y'all my big board. As y'all see, I think Jeremiah Love is the best player in this draft class. So I have him at number one. I know he's a running back, but as I stated earlier, but I'll say it again for the people that might be just now tuning in, I do not look at positions when I evaluate players. I just don't look at that because it's irrelevant to me. If you're a great player, you're a great player regardless of your position. And when I see Jeremiah Love, I think he's a generational running back. So I have him ranked as the number one player on my big board, but also rounding out my top 10, we have Arvell Reese, Caleb Downs, Fernando Mendoza, David Bailey, Carnell Tate, Ruben Manning Jr., Sonny Styles, Jamal McCoy, and Mekhi Lemon. And I'm not going to go back and name everyone like I did about 20 or 30 minutes ago, but I will let y'all take a look at my big board. And as I stated earlier, it is subject to change. Right now, I don't expect too much movement, but there are some guys, I'm not going to disclose their names, obviously, but there are some guys that are definitely going to be moving up on my big board, but I don't expect too many changes to occur. But it will be a couple. All right, I'll go on to slide 3 now. And as y'all see, I do have Omar Cooper Jr. at 29. So this might be higher than what, some analysts, some reporters have him at, but I'm a big fan of Omar Cooper Jr. So because of that, he is, highly ranked on my big board. I'm also a big fan of Caleb Banks. That might be surprising to people. I know he only played 4 games this past season at Florida, but man, I mean, he is very nimble on his feet. You're talking about a guy that's 6'6", 327 pounds with an 85-inch wingspan, and he is just so light on his feet. I think he does a great job of collapsing the pocket, getting pressure onto the quarterback. I think the biggest thing with Caleb Banks is really his his consistency. There are some times that he looks motivated, and there's other times he looks unmotivated. But when he is motivated, when that fire is burning within his soul, y'all, Caleb Banks is an absolute dominant player on the field. So just hoping that whatever NFL team drafts him can get that out of him consistently. Because I think he could be the best defensive tackle in this draft class. Even though I have Peter Woods and Caden McDonald ranked higher than him, I think Caleb Banks has the highest upside of any defensive tackle in this draft class. I said that last year about Walter Nolan, that I felt like he had the highest upside of any defensive tackle, and so far, y'all, I think I've so far I feel like, excuse me, that has been proven to be true because he had an incredible rookie season for the Arizona Cardinals. Um, and let's see, moving along. Let y'all see right there. And there goes Todd Simpson. Y'all had him as the 40th ranked player on my big board. I also have Jadarian Price as the 35th player on my big board, which might surprise some people, but I'm a huge fan of his game. I think he's a dynamic running back. The second best running back in this draft class behind Jeremiah Love. I think he's a big play threat waiting to happen. And he's also really good in the special teams game as a punt and kick returner. So Jadarian Price is an all-around great football player. We'll go to the next slide, or actually the final slide, I should say. And yeah, I think maybe the big surprise might be that I have D'Angelo Pons at 49. Um, I know y'all, he's only 5'8", about 180 pounds. I don't care. He's an absolute dog. Okay. He plays much bigger than his size would suggest. Very physical in coverage and as a tackler. Like, he will jam wide receivers. Like, I saw him jam Carnell Tate in the Big Ten championship game. And Carnell Tate is 4 inches taller than him and probably about 20 pounds heavier than he is. And D'Angelo Pons was jamming him at the line of scrimmage. So I just love his mentality. I love the way he plays. And again, y'all, he's only 5'8", but don't let that size fool you. He is a great corner. He can play on the outside as well as a slot. And yeah, I think he's a top 50 player in this draft class. But y'all, it looks like the combine has returned from commercial break. So I will get ready to put it back on again. Appreciate everyone for being here. Hope you have enjoyed the live stream so far. If you're new, please hit the subscribe and like button. I would greatly appreciate that. All right, y'all. Let me get ready to pull the combine back up so we can get ready to watch these quarterbacks and wide receivers do their thing, man. Let's go. I want to see some great drills right now. Hopefully, it won't be any, in air passes. It won't be any drops. None of that. All right.
By the way, we have a potential record breaker in this group.
Okay. You want to give me a name?
Okay.
Mississippi
Now,
State, Brandon
If
Thompson.
you
Okay,
start
you're
to
talking about
roll
him all
out
week.
and you're not moving your hand, but you're starting to roll forward your body, they get you on movement. It's called a rolling start. You're going to be slow. I blow the whistle. I say.
Hey, y'all, let me just say this. The man that's speaking right now, he cracks me up. The other day, it was some people, I guess they were distracting the runners, and he told them that they need to go somewhere else. He said, like, y'all have to move. You can't be distracting my players. It was just hilarious. But I mean, he does a great job of making sure everything is fine, making sure these players can be relaxed as they're running a 40-yard dash. But yeah, he's a no nonsense man, so he definitely wouldn't take any crap from anyone. Definitely wouldn't mess with him. I thought that was hilarious.
He cussed me out on national TV. Didn't look good for him, okay? So, just let me know, hey, I dragged my foot. I'm okay with it. Drag your foot.
Do not
so I know you
cuss
don't
out
stumble.
Mark
That's all.
Gorsuch
So I don't
on
blow the
national
whistle.
television.
Now, if you do stumble within the first 10 yards here,
He told me it was a
I'm
coach
blowing
he
the
fired
whistle.
the other day, by the way.
I'm saving you.
It was a college
That
coach.
makes
It was
sense?
his first time at the
We don't
combine.
want
He didn't
that.
know the do's and
I am
don'ts of
not
where you sit
perfect.
and where you don't sit.
So I missed
Yeah,
the
so
stumble.
he,
You
that's
felt
why he
you
fired
stumbled
Adam?
within
He
the
fired
first
him,
10
but
yards.
then they had a good conversation. They're
Oh.
on the same page now. Everything's
Walk
okay.
back
Isn't that
down,
lovely?
Get your
Yeah.
composure, get your three-point stance. We'll just go again. I'm cool with that stuff, okay? But don't do the trick, the drill. You're trained
So
professionals
these final
now.
40s,
That
then the
makes
field
sense to you, man?
drills. We're
Well, I'm here
expecting
to help
Brandon
you. I
Bean
wanna
of the
make sure you
Buffalo
have a
Bills
great
front
day and you
office to
crush
join
this
us.
thing.
Here's the
That's all I ask.
40-yard line. The scouts are lined up to get their best possible angle of the finish.
Break it down. We got
Let's
the first
go.
runner up 10.
Let's
Okay,
run.
break it down. Let's go. Let's go have some fun today.
Now, we could have gone and grabbed some dinner in between the last drilling right now.
All right, let's get it, y'all. 40-yard
40-yard
dash.
presented by EA Sports Madden NFL. Everybody, it is time for that. So the quarterbacks dropped the ball, Jack Andre. They dropped it. They couldn't do it. They did.
No QBs.
Unless the officials come in and.
How close was it? Man, they both ran well.
I believe the quarterback group was not the fastest quarterback group ever. Even with the second fastest quarterback time ever. Ted Hurst.
He can run.
Starts us off.
He pulled
4-4-2 from Georgia
I like
State.
that.
He pulled up a little bit before the finish there as well. Alrighty. He's a big outside receiver. That long stride, he can build speed, tracks the ball well.
I like
He
that.
had a really good Senior Bowl.
Okay, it's Colin Lacey of Louisville coming up next.
Thank you.
Catches a lot of bubbles. He's got quick, really quick feet, breaks tackles. He'll use them on some jet sweeps as well.
5'9" and 1/8.
Yeah, a little undersized, 183 pounds. Yeah, a little quicker than fastest player. That's what you see when you watch him. He can make you miss tight areas.
Next up is Bryce Lance from North Dakota State. You might
Trey
be
Lance
wondering,
brother.
wait a minute. North Dakota State, that's where Trey Lance went. Is he related? And the answer is
You betcha.
he is. This is Trey's brother, Bryce Lance.
And Trey was fast for a quarterback, and you're getting ready to see Bryce is going to be very fast for a wideout.
6'3" and 3/8.
He can roll.
There he goes. Bryce Lance, 4'3". Okay. I see ya.
He's got long.
Hey, them Lance boys, they athletic, ain't they?
Excellent job when he's on the move. A little bit more so when he's breaking back downhill, but you can see the speed there. And once he gets you in a trail position, you're not going to catch up.
He just looked up for his time. We don't show the first times in the arena, so he was just looking around.
That was
wondering why
smooth,
people
too.
clapping.
All right, this is my guy, Jacoby Lane out of USC.
Here's Jacoby
Big
Lane.
physical freak. Hopefully, he can run about a 4.5. That'd be a great time for him.
Guy.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's what. Yes, let's go, Jacoby Lane.
Over 6'4", almost 6'4 and a half.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, 4.48.
Acrobatic
Man,
catches there for the Trojans.
amazing. Excuse me, amazing time for him.
Athletic guy, Kendrick Law.
Yes,
Kentucky.
that's what I'm talking
All
about.
right, here we go. Now,
I wanted him to run
That's
under a
about going
4.5.
to
This is
see
exactly what he
He
did.
can really run.
Okay.
There you go, boy.
Powerful guy, 203 pounds.
Am I reading this statistic right? A squat of 655.
I present to you Exhibit A.
And B.
He can run faster than
That's
that.
nice.
Okay.
Right, 4.46 is nothing to sneeze at there, and you see DJ Moore's time, the 4.42, but put those guys together because of what they do with the ball in their hands after the catch. You see the vert and the broad, that shows you the explosiveness that they have.
Yeah, Mekhi Lemon is not running a 40. Going straight from the L's to the R's. Eric Rivers of Georgia Tech just saw his quarterback moments ago.
Well, y'all, McCollum is not running the 40, but that's fine for me. I don't care.
Start.
He's still a great football player.
And finish. 4-3.
Man, these guys are zooming right now. I didn't think Eric Rivers had that in him. You know, Brandon Bean.
Coming here next. Could we ask him to bring
Yeah, I didn't know Eric Rivers had that in him. Wow,
see what he's
4.37.
I have some. I
What
gotta
are you
get them out of my
hiding him for?
backpack.
Thought he was about maybe a 4.45 guy or
Didn't
something.
have that when we were
4.37. That's
scouting.
that's
Kinda cheat
crazy.
up here.
By the way, our ham timer, Mark Ross, just hand timed Rivers at 4.3 flat. Okay, so we'll have to
He was scooting.
see what's up. Chase Roberts, BYU.
Use him inside and outside. Gave me some old school Jake Bobo vibes from when he was coming out of UCLA.
Careful, yeah, I gotta whistle that one.
Very careful. Almost took out a camera.
Almost did. Johnny Austin Ford here. You really getting your binoculars out? I was just kidding.
I mean, I packed them. I haven't taken them out the whole week.
All right. What else you got in there?
I got some Tums and some cough drops if you have any issues.
It sounds like a witch's brew here. Okay, there we go. Look at this guy. Now he's showing off. I can put him away.
Yeah, they work.
They work. Try it again here. Better start. Here we go. Chase Roberts chasing the stripe. 4.65. Deshaun Stribling now coming up next.
Like Deshaun Stribling. Think he should be maybe a late second or third round pick.
What a season Ole Miss
Had a great season this past year. Ole Miss. Before then, though, he was at Oklahoma State. He was a really productive wide receiver for them as well.
In the Georgia game, this dude caught a 5-yard hitch and took it like 60 to 70 yards for a touchdown. That was the first eye opener when you pop on his tape.
If he could run in the low 4.4s, that'd be great.
Okay, he almost got halfway through before he's turned around.
Yeah.
Hey, Z, you got to hold your off hand longer, okay? The hand off the ground. You're rolling a little bit, okay? You're cool. You could do this easily.
I hear a baby in the background.
I did hear that too.
Started the last group using the first trimester.
Nice. Nice.
Hey.
4.39.
Take your time right there.
Wow.
Woohoo! Gorsuch said you can do this easy, and that looked easy.
Man.
Our first sub 4.4 that we've seen in a bit.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
I said he could just run in the,
Hey guys, as we get ready for Carnell
the low
what I keep
4.4s,
thinking
that'd be
about
great.
is everything we're seeing in this
You say, I'm going to do
combine
one better for you. You say,
is
I'm going to get a
embodied by Carnell
4.39.
Tate. Remember Pete Carroll, always compete? That was Carnell
Amazing.
Tate. I asked him before you went to Ohio State, you knew you had a loaded receiver room. What led you to go anyway? Did everyone recruit you differently? He said, they all said, come here, you'll be the guy right away. Why go compete? He said, I'm just not built that way.
4.41. By the way, this is the nephew of the late Floyd Little. J. Michael Sturdivant from Georgia.
Bounced around to a couple different schools, but
All right, my
here we
boy,
go.
Carnell Tate.
Carnell Tate.
6th player on my big board.
Faithful. Convened in Indianapolis.
All right, I got to buckle my seatbelt for this one. Come on.
Wide receiver on Daniel Jeremiah is bored. Running his 40. There he goes.
A little stumble. I thought they would blow it.
4.54.
Yeah,
All right, we'll take that.
Let's see, maybe he'll do it again.
I thought he probably been better off just kind of stop on that one. He's not. He's faster than 4.54.
Yeah, as he is. He definitely is. I think he's about a 4.47 guy. 4.48.
Step, he went left to right.
Yeah. Got off track.
That's not bad though. I mean, because his play speed though is incredible. So
got another run at it. Xavier Thomas of LSU.
he absolutely will run by DBs.
For the aforementioned speed burner from Mississippi State, Brennan Thompson.
This kid can run too now. At least LSU guys are fast.
That's fast for sure. 4.28. There you go.
Yes, sir.
Fans are cheering. Xavier doesn't know it, but he just ran a sub 4.340.
That's what I'm talking about.
Now you're saying the next guy goes even lower potentially, right?
He's got the capability. He was trained in the same facility.
Brennan Thompson.
I wouldn't be shocked if Brennan Thompson breaks the record. Honestly, he is that fast, and you see it on tape. You feel his speed. Absolutely feel his speed, y'all.
The all-time record holder for the 40. Here's Brennan Thompson. Mississippi State.
I would not be surprised if he ran a 4.20.
And he gets the whistle.
All right, come on.
Again, you got.
I think he has legit track speed. So
the fastest wide receiver group
now, offhand goes back,
we've ever recorded. And Xavier Thomas has done that. Right there with Tyquan Thornton, J.J. Nelson, and Jacoby Ford.
We'll see. I mean, you know, obviously, it's not going to be easy to beat a 4.21, but I think he can do it.
Back 20 is when you really feel his speed.
Okay.
Oh, he's on. He might do it.
4.26.
Ooh, 4.26.
Okay.
4.26. Okay. Okay.
4.26. We got a new club
Yeah.
and a new member of the team.
And that's legit. That's legit, y'all.
Wide receiver times of all.
You watch Brennan Thompson play, man. He was just flying by DBs in the SEC.
One of these gents that we've seen run in this group or the one before.
Man, 4.26 is fast, but I thought that was close. I thought he was close to a 4.21 or 4.22.
Confirmation when we come back.
Chicken Al Pastor.
Okay, y'all. Wow. 4.26 for Brennan Thompson. Then we had a 4.28 for Xavier Thomas. But with Brennan Thompson, I definitely feel like you just feel his speed, man. Now he's not a great route runner, but because he is just so fast and athletic, he's gonna have some success in the NFL. He's definitely gonna have a role for sure. He can be like what Tyquan Thornton was for the Kansas City Chiefs this past season. Just be a guy that you bring in when you just want someone that can take the top off the defense. He'll be able to do that. Is he gonna be like a consistent wide receiver for you? No, but again, if you just need somebody that can come in, take the top off the defense, really stretch the defense vertically and horizontally, he is going to be your guy. So it's gonna be interesting to see where he goes. Right now, I have a 4th round grade on him, but I could see him going potentially late 2nd round. I definitely could see him going in the 3rd round. After he just ran a blazing 4.26 40, but I definitely think he could go in the 3rd round. I think late 2nd, for me, that would be a little bit of a reach because I just don't think he's a well-rounded wide receiver. But if you just want somebody that can add, a lot of speed and explosiveness to your offense, then he's gonna be your guy. So yeah. So that was great to see. Cardinal Tate run a 4.54. Think he's like Dan Jeremiah said. Think he can run a little faster than that. I said I think he's about a 4.47, 4.48 guy. But even if he isn't, I'm not concerned about it, because his play speed is great. So, and sometimes you have guys that might not, run an incredibly fast 40, but when you turn on their tape, they are really fast. And I think that's how it is for Cardinal Tate. Especially you go back and watch his game against Minnesota. Man, he got by those defensive backs twice on a couple of, really nice deep plays. So he is plenty fast enough. And then when he's not running by guys, he can run, run through them. So I'm not worried about Cardinal Tate at all in terms of his speed or his athleticism. I think he's super athletic. So now I've always said don't put too much stock into 40-yard dash times, especially if it doesn't align with what you see on tape. Because again, y'all, sometimes you see these guys are running incredibly fast 40s, but then we turn the tape, you're like, man, they don't look that fast. So, because yeah, it's easy to run, in a straight line, but when you got, DBs and linebackers trying to, chase you down, can you outrun them? I think that's what Cardinal Tate can do. So, not too concerned about it. All right, y'all, it is back. It is back. Get ready to put it back on. There we go.
Jalen Walthall. Caden Weegan, everybody, from Iowa.
Here we go. He can run. I was going to say we got a little Tim Dwight, little Iowa old school Tim Dwight action right there.
There you go.
Returner.
And Antonio Williams back live.
It's a good player. You're going through and doing all the corners, and you start noticing Antonio Williams more and more. These guys having a tough time with him. Really competitive kid.
Off he goes. 4.42.
I like that.
Time.
Perhaps
yes, sir.
We've seen in this group one of the next Buffalo Bills. I mean, this man eventually knows. Maybe you don't know right now, but he's Brandon Beane. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, Rich.
Are you aware every Buffalo Bills fan has been locked in on the wide receiver group tonight, taking notes, ready to pass them along to you?
They sure are.
Okay.
I get plenty of wide receiver advice.
I'm sure you get a lot of advice as well. What do you think of the group that we've seen today?
So obviously there's some speed. I mean, when I walked in here, the Brandon Thompson kid took off. You could feel it from over here. You guys got a better seat than I got. I like this. I mean,
where's your seat?
Yeah, I'm across the way over there. I'm about the goal line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so binoculars out, trying to see all these. But no, it's been good. I tell you, it feels like yesterday was fast too. And I mean, all the way back to the linebackers. Like it's bigger, stronger, faster every year.
It's every position group has been the fastest at its position group ever, up until the quarterbacks.
That's why if I was some of these agents, I'd be that aren't running.
I know. It's not going to get faster than this.
This seems like a fast track. I would be telling my dude, get out there and run. If you're healthy, run. If it doesn't go well, you still got your pro day.
Yeah, you can make an exception for Penn State in the downhill track. That's the only one that you'd say, okay, you might even run faster there.
You said it, I did.
Ted Hurst was rolling the first time through.
4.42.40. Now he's whistled right here.
Got a little size as well. How's it going with the new staff?
It's been good. Joe Brady, he's a walking ball of energy. Dude literally drinks fast twitch every morning and gets himself rolling. I don't think he needs it, but he adds it, and he's got a contagious energy. You feel it in the building. Just adding the staff, you could tell kind of the people he was choosing. Obviously, he wants highly qualified coaches, but at the same time, guys that are bringing high energy, positive. Just there's there's a new feel to it. Obviously, um, we're not blowing the team up or anything like that.
Yeah.
But he's going to bring his own and put his own stamp on it. And his goal is to try and um, pretend like he came from another team and just. We're not just passing the time. We're kind of reset, and this is kind of the new iteration, of the Buffalo Bills. But been excited about Jim Leonard and kind of he obviously played in Buffalo, played in some other places. First time being around here, super sharp. He's kind of got like a little stealth attitude to him, but it's been fun.
Guys, and again, we're watching the wide receiver group here. Joe Brady has said multiple times that he's told Keon Coleman, I'm the best coach that could have been hired for you.
Yep.
What's your perspective of that relationship and what he has told Keon?
Yeah, I think it's been good. We got a new wide receiver coach as well, Drew Terrell, that's very excited. Pete Carmichael's our new OC. Pete, those guys all watched him and they were like, man, I'm looking forward to working with him. So I think there's a new energy, and it's year 3, and we're going to hit the full reset with Keon. And Keon had a very good offseason last year. It's really just and honestly had a very good training camp. It's just, and then we played the Ravens that first game. He had 100 and whatever yards, and just some things, from a maturity standpoint after that. But Keon has said all the right things. I give him this. He's been very accountable. He's never made excuses. And so we're all hands on deck. We're all going to do our part. And I know Joe and those new coaches are very excited for what is in store for year 3.
Bryce Lance running another sub 4.40.
Very nice.
We're watching the wide receiver group.
What needs to happen with this defense, Coach, to get the defense where you want it to be? What's missing right now? Where you're looking to add free agency coming up as well as with the draft?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Jim Leonard, and Jim's trying to make us a defense of multiplicity and try to find as many quote unquote positionless players as you can have. It's gonna we've been a 4-3 forever. I've pretty much been in the league 28 years. Pretty much always been a 4-3, but flipping more to a 3-4.
Jacoby Lane with a nice run there. Brandon Beane's with us. We go to break with simulcam. Just how far off of Xavier Worthy is Brendan Thompson? Have you ever seen a sub 4.340 look this slow in your entire life? That's what Xavier Worthy can do. We're back with more in a moment.
Man, y'all, these guys are incredible. Excuse me, they're incredibly fast, aren't they? Wow. Bryce Lance, he ran a 4.34 on his first attempt and a 4.39 on his second attempt. And that's still incredibly fast. That's still incredibly fast. So, these guys nowadays, y'all. I mean, just the athleticism that some of these guys possess is just absolutely incredible. So, when you look at what Sonny Styles did a couple days ago, man, you talking about a guy that's 6'4", 6'5", 244 pounds, running a 4.4 640-yard dash, had an 11.2 broad jump, and had a 43.5-inch vertical. I mean, it's incredible. Then you see these receivers, Bryce Lance, 4.3 440, Xavier Thomas, 4.28. I mean, Brendan Thompson, 4.26. It's incredible to see, y'all. And let me say this, guys we've always had very fast, very athletic players, but it seems like nowadays, I don't know, maybe it's what they feeding these guys, but the way some of these guys can really just jump out of the building and run for days is just it's incredible to see. So, and with most of these guys too, y'all, it translates to their tape. So they're not just doing this in the combine, but then when you watch them play, you're like, oh, they're really not that fast, or they're really not that athletic. Like, no, they really are this fast. They really are, this athletic. So, but so far, y'all, I think it's been great. Again, hope you're enjoying it. If you're new, please hit the sub button and like the stream. Also, follow me on my socials. My Instagram is _23. My Twitter is ZayMoolaSportsPodcast. And also, y'all, and I forgot to add this, but Follow me on Twitch at ZayMoolaSportsPodcast. Because I do stream on there occasionally as well. So yeah, if you ever want to get in contact with me or just reach out to me, say what's up, see how I'm doing. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. Man, as always, man, feel free to hit me up. So, and I appreciate everyone for being here. You definitely could be somewhere else right now, but you decided to tune in to the Zay Moolah Sports podcast. And for that, I'm appreciative. So thank you. Yes, give yourselves a round of applause. But yeah, y'all, I mean, we seen some incredible things happen so far during the combine with these 40-yard dashes and with the broad jump and the vertical jump. I mean, last night Ken Sadiq had a 43.5-inch vertical, and so did Eli Stovers. So, whoo, these guys, man, insane athleticism. Well, all right, y'all, it is back. And I stated this earlier, but I'll say it again for anyone that might just now be tuned in. The reason I keep going back and forth like this is because I don't want to get copyrighted. So every time they go to commercial break, y'all see, I'll just go back and I'll have this nice 2026 NFL Combine Day 3 watch party photo up because, yeah, I don't want to get copyrighted. So that's why we keep going back and forth. Hope y'all can understand that, but I just wanted to provide some clarity for some people that might be wondering why I keep doing that. All right, y'all. I'm ready to pull it back up.
course. Grass, Western New York.
Feels right.
Everybody's going nuts, and I'd imagine covering 60% of it might keep some of that noise, make it loud too, right?
Should
louder.
Yeah, I mean, our stadium was loud and it was wide open.
Right.
This should, like Seattle Stadium, should hold a lot of that in, and should be really good. And like I said, I think when we all watch snow games, everybody tunes into those things.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Should I mention my idea on the air?
I think you should.
Okay, the doors to the Bills locker room should be two ends of a folding table. And when the Bills come out, they just burst through and crack the table open. Don't you think that'd be a great idea?
I love it. I love it. I told you we should have got you on sooner, but you know what?
I'm around.
It's like a house. Sometimes you got to spend a little more money.
You got to live in it first.
Terry's going to kill me. He's already spent enough.
Live in it first. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you.
You're one of the
Always enjoy it.
Good to
Appreciate
see
you
you.
guys.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah,
Good
you
luck.
too. Thank you.
Brandon Beane of the Buffalo Bills, one of the best organizations and fan bases in the NFL. Here at a scouting combine. Just a couple more wide receivers to go, and then we're going to get one last on-field drills tonight.
Tell you what, I love when we get visitors up here. That's what's so cool about this event is you get a chance to watch these guys compete, but then we also get to
convene,
widen out a little bit, and look at these teams and what they're looking to do and accomplish. We got new coaches to look at, free agents to discuss. Like that's why the NFL is the best, man. There's no off season. It's just from one thing to the next to the next.
So I like Brandon. I knew I could ask him questions that.
He does not take offense to anything. Let's just go do whatever you get into.
We talk about Xavier Worthy,
Yeah, the trade, yes.
Mahomes.
Correct. Buffalo fans will.
Don't be like, if Brett Veach calls, just